we are at Hot Brick, actually for the Brick Cascade 2025, and we are live today because we are really excited that we're gonna have so much fun here. So I am definitely really excited to see you guys as well, and this is really cool actually. So I'm gonna give you guys a full tour of Brick Cascade because this is really cool to see some really cool actual amazing stuff. So I'm really excited about it. So we'll show you guys all around, and then we'll do that, and then right before family and friends night, and then we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited to eventually see you as well. So I'm really happy to see you. So let's flip the camera and then we'll see how that goes. And here we are. So for the actual camera, this is the entire convention we are at. So this is really massive. It actually has more tables, I suppose, from last year and the year before. So let's start with the Castles and Pirates over here. So over here is the this is really cool actually. I'm really excited about this. So yeah, so this is really cool. And yeah, and there's some really great stuff happening that includes like the ballast right here, over here, and there's even the actual ballasting of the stormtroopers in that area, so that's pretty cool. And over here we have is a shadow, I don't know what you call that, but you can actually read it right there. So it's actually kind of nice. So, and there's some really great stuff here. There's some really good stuff, and then yeah, and then over here on this side is the actual battle scene of the snow area. So it looks pretty interesting of what this looked like. So, but I do know is that I have put like a trophy right there, so I kind of like it. So there's even that, and then there's all these really cool stuff as well. So. And then also look at that smile on his face. That's so amazing. And then there's some really great stuff over here. Like the contraption is like moving like right there. So that is really interesting. So, but I do know is that this is a really cool area right here with a bunch of plants that has made out of Legos. So actually that looks really cool. And then yeah, and then there's some really great stuff happening over here. There's a skeleton right there that's pretty darn sick. So that's really cool. And then there's a pirate ship right here. So that's actually look really cool. And then there's even actually a some really cool stuff over here as well. So that's really cool. And there's even like castles over here. And then there's all this other stuff. So there is some really great stuff happening over here. And over here is actually the I think I don't know what you call this, but like it's a really great way to have it for kids to have inspire builds by a lot of good stuff. So there's some really great stuff over here. And then actually someone actually is working on here, so he's not doing so well. So yeah, and actually we are live.
Hello, how's it going?
How are you today?
Good. Building, what's wrong with that?
I don't know, just trying to get to us so far as we can. So right?
Yep.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thanks.
And then over here on this area is the actual train area. So there's a really cool like train area that's gonna go all the way around to like this aisle, like from like right there. It's gonna go all the way down over here, so all the way up. And then they're working on some more construction happening. So there is that. So there's some really great stuff happening over here. And let's go around. And then also we are live.
Hello.
How's it going for you, sir?
Oh, we're here.
Oh, we're here. Okay, fair enough. And then over here on this side, there's a actual like working sign, the Lego figure right there that's already built. So that's actually kind of cool. And then and over here on this side over here, there's some really, really great stuff happening over here. This guy is working really, really hard to get this all done. So we are live.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How you built so far?
You know, behind. But
right.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day at Brick Cascade 2025.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the trains are basically just going all the way down until all the way to going up there. So that's actually kind of cool. And then over here on this side is the actually another train area over here. So that looks pretty nice so far. So there's some really great stuff happening over here. And this is really cool actually. It actually is the actual tunnel right here. That's actually pretty, the train's just going to go inside right here. So it's actually kind of nice.
There's going to be an inside loop, so
yeah,
one that goes around, and then this is an inside loop.
Okay.
So that will almost constantly be running.
Okay.
And it's the state park.
Right.
I don't know where he is, but it was actually done a few years ago.
Okay.
But looks really good. And then factories, a UFO abduction. Then we have a yard in the middle. And then city, and then Forest Mining Castle.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. And then yeah, and then this is the other train section over here. So this is kind of nice on this side. So yeah, and then there's another train station like over there. So there's even that too. But I do know is that there's gonna be a very cool train station over here. So yeah, so there's gonna be really great stuff happening over here, and yeah, there's a lot of cool trains around this area. There's gonna be more trains happening in this area. There's actually, I want you to know that this Lego train is actually made out of Lego. It's not really like the ballistic train that we're looking for.
There's an adult fan of Lego convention. It's all Lego.
That's right. That's right. Is that what it is right now, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, that's what he said, and yeah, this is really great. Over here we have the post-apocalypse. I can't even spell that correctly, but I think that's how it works. What they do is that they actually have really cool scenes over here on this side right here, so it's actually kind of nice. And then there's even the actually some really cool stuff over here, so I'm actually really excited that this thing is just so cool. So there's some really great stuff over here, and then over here is the Star Wars section where I'm at. So there's some really cool stuff over here. These includes the First Order actual stuff over here. So this is kind of nice. And over here there's a actual Death Star area, or actual aircraft over here. So this is kind of nice. We got Mandalorian over here, and we got some more Star Wars stuff right here. And we got the Grand Admiral Thrawn with his eyes, so that looks pretty cool. And then over here is the Rebel Leia person's light thing with the lightning bolt on his face, so that's actually kind of cool. And then there's some really cool Star Wars ships, so that's kind of nice actually. And then there's a Star Wars logo over here, so there's actually kind of nice too. And then yeah, and then all this is over here, looks really cool. And then also my build is actually right here, so if you guys noticed that my build is right here, so that looks really cool. And then over here is the Felicia build. So the Felicia build is really cool, and there's all this like Star Wars scenes from like every episode, so this is actually kind of cool. And then over here is the movie sequence by Troy. So Troy actually built this movie scene out of Lego, so this is actually really cool. It's like a really cool like movie scene as well, so this is actually kind of nice, and this is a great way to do it. So I am really, really excited about it. So this is a really great way to do it. So this is really amazing. And then over here is the Death Star Village, because the Death Star Village is so, so cool. There's even some great stuff over here as well, because I know I'm really excited about this build, because I'm just trying to do the best I can, because I know that there's even the DJ over here, so that looks really cool. So yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff with all the Death Star Village. And then over here we have Endor. We also have another Endor, Star Wars scenes. We also have Endor. There is Endor over here, so that's kind of cool. And there's even the other Star Wars area, I think. I can't remember what it was, but there's that. And then there's Battlefront 2. And then there's the post-apocalypse, so there's that. And then there's some really great stuff up over here. And Mark is right here with Lego Master, so we are live.
Oh, awesome. Hey, everyone. We're trying to finish our build.
You're trying to finish your build, or
Yeah.
is that the whole point, or?
Well, we got a lot of work to do.
Oh, we have a lot of work. How much work do you have so far?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Right.
But we'll be done by the time we're supposed to be done. So.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Check back in when we're done.
Okay. I'll check it out for sure when you guys are done.
Okay.
And then over here, there's some actual vendors over here. That's actually kind of nice. There's some really good stuff happening over here. And then there's over here is a steam pump or steam punk. And there's some really great stuff over here. So there's that. And then there's even actual actual roller coaster over here, so it's actually kind of nice. So there's that. And then there's a whale, or whatever creatures there are. So that looks really, really cool. And there's a ticking clock that moves like a moving clock, so that looks really cool. And then over here is the actual, I don't know what you call this, but this is really cool. And all of this over here is really amazing. So there's some really great stuff. And then there's some really great stuff, and then
apparently someone was just trying.
Yeah, and there's some really great stuff.
I want to get.
There's some more. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff. And then this is really cool. There's even the actual flag or something like that, or the school or something like that. That's really cool. So there's even that. And then you can also see that right there what it says. So that might be really interesting. And we are live, folks.
Hello. Oh, hello.
So how you guys going? How you guys doing today?
Doing good. I just finished this speed build.
That's great. How'd that go?
Didn't win, but it's always fun.
That's great. Have you guys having a great time?
Always.
That's great. That's great. So this is really great. There's some really great stuff happening. And tell us about your build.
Well, we're the two team coordinators for architecture here.
Okay.
And we have a group collab we've been doing for a little while, which is the portals, which is what you see in front of me here.
Okay.
And people are able to build little doorways based on whatever comes into their imagination. Some of them are more fanciful, some of them are more realistic. And the idea is, like in many countries where you have a door that's actually a piece of art, and not just something you buy off the shelf.
Right. That makes sense. Well, thank you so much. I really guys appreciate talking to you.
Have a great one.
You too. yeah, and over here there's some really cool buildings over here. So this is kind of nice. And yeah, there's some really great stuff here. And there's even there's some really great stuff over here. There's also some really cool stuff as well. Like it includes that like there's a mushroom on actual figure up top here, so that actually looks kind of nice. And there's some really great stuff. So this is really amazing. Oh yeah, and what I want to mention is that this is actually Joey from his actual friend named Dom from Cool Guy Dom. So there's even that. So he was there from Brick Cascade about 2 years ago. So there's some really great stuff about his build. So check out his really cool actual build. So this is actually look really neat.
You got your monochrome situation?
And then we have a actual like scuba or like a ocean deep area. So this is actually kind of nice. There's some really great stuff happening over here. And then over here is the more stuff here from Mix. So Mix is like right there. So that's actually kind of nice. And then there's some great stuff. There's even like a duck that's really cool with that's really cool. The texture of the feathers and the eye up top. So that looks really cool. And then this is really nice over here. So it's actually not that bad. So, but yeah, I mean this is really great. And I think we'll go back to the way over here. Great stuff. There's actually really cool inside here, so that looks pretty sick right here. There's some really great stuff over here. More stuff. Cool. And then over on the other side, we have classics. So classics is just right here. So it could just be anything you want with classic. I don't know what that is, but like they can bring like actual toy stuff for like little kids. That maybe they play with through Lego. So it just depends on how that goes. But this is basically on the classic trains or classic basically the actual stuff. So this is actually kind of cool. And then over here is the actual art. And art is this is really there's a really cool like amazing stuff right here. That's actually kind of nice. Actually, I kind of like this. So there's some great stuff there. And there's even more stuff. There's more artwork happening over here. More artwork. And then there's a bumblebee that's just really cool. Their eyes. I never know that the wings just expand like that on both sides. And there's a big giant like stinger like right here. So that looks really cool. And then there's some really great stuff over here. And we also even got the Technic, so that looks really cool. And then actually this one's really interesting because I think that over here is the actual like moving like contraption here on the. It's kind of like that when you have at your house. And then I think it's pretty nice actually. So there's that. And then over here is more Technic stuff. So there is that. And then we have like a fish area right here. I think there's like a background like fish. So that looks really cool. And then even over here is the more like there's some really great stuff happening over here. And then there's a roller coaster from the other one we just saw earlier. So there's that. And then there's even this really cool like artwork that has like Iron Man right there with some great great stuff over here on like all the cool stuff on that display or the texture of the or detail about this really cool Iron Man, of course. And there's even the more artwork as well. So there's that. And then there's more artwork over here as well. So let's try to get as close as we can. And yeah, and then there's that as well. And then yeah, yeah, and actually, I want you guys to know that we are live.
Oh, we're live.
Hello.
We're live building. This is live building.
What are you guys making?
We're making a wearable piece of art.
Cool.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be like a big painting behind you on that
Yeah.
board.
We're gonna hang on that.
That's really, really cool. That's really amazing. Oh, good luck, guys. I hope you guys get it done before family and friends night.
Oh, we're gonna try.
Well, just try your best. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then over here, we actually have space over here. So space is just about right there. So that actually looks kind of nice. And yeah, and then there's some really cool like ships over here. Yeah, and then there's some really great stuff over here as well. And then there's some great stuff happening over here. This is really, really, really long like ship. That's like really cool actually. That has like a very long like a kind of, I don't know how I call this, like a big giant nose. So that looks really cool. So there's that. So that looks pretty nice. And there's even the more stuff happening over here. So there's really great stuff as well. So there's some really great stuff. All of this is really cool. And yeah, there's some really great ships and there's really great stuff over here. But yeah, I mean, this is just one of the greatest like stuff. This is a really amazing space area that's just really cool. So there's even that, and there's like dark and like there's like black and like yellow ships maybe. There's or actual outline, I don't know what you call it, but like it's kind of like that eventually. But there's that. So, and there's more ships on this side over here as well. So there's that. Yeah, there's some more ships over here. This is really cool. So yeah, this is really amazing. So, and then yeah, there's just really some great stuff happening over here. This is really cool. Actually, this is actually kind of nice. And then we are live. How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright.
Good. How about, what are you building?
I'm building a mech for the Mecha Makeover over on the other side of the table.
You mean like that mech over there?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Excuse me for one sec.
Okay.
And yeah, and then this is really cool actually. This is really nice with all this cool like stuff happening over here. This is actually really nice over here. There's some great stuff right here. So yeah, this is really great stuff. And there's even like a tall area. I think I can't remember what it was, but this is like a next stop space. I think is what you call it exactly. So there's that. So there's some really cool stuff over here. This is really nice. And then right over here is the really cool, like massive, like avatar. So this is a really great avatar. I also add my Hot Brick Studios on there, or a trophy or something like that. And this is really great. They have some like really cool like whales and all that kind of stuff, and avatar people. And there's some really great stuff over here. Like this is really incredible. It's over a lot of pieces. I can't tell how many of those pieces there is, but this is really, really amazing. This is a bunch of parts and a lot of work and a lot of cool stuff on that area. So there's some really great stuff happening over here. So there's some really good stuff. But I do know is that like all this really cool stuff is there's also even the trees. So there's even that. So that looks really cool with the actual avatar which is sitting next to the tree, so that's really cool. And there's even like that says Idaho, so they're basically from Idaho because they're from actual like big slopes. So there's that. And then we also have mechs over here, over on this side. So this is how it goes. And then yeah, and then this is really cool actually. This is really nice. There's some great stuff happening over here. yeah, and then there's a lot of cool like Max over here, so this is really really nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. This is my first ever live stream before, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm really hoping that you guys actually enjoyed like really seeing some really cool stuff happening over here. So this is really incredible. And this is actually my first time doing a live stream, so I'm really excited to see you guys as well. We'll keep going as well until we'll see how that goes. And then over here is the big giant Jurassic Park on this side, and they're still doing this construction, so there's that. and then there's some really great stuff. And actually, Kai, we are live. We are live. So yeah, so there's some really cool stuff. Like there's like dinosaurs. It has a tram that just goes from like all the way like down and going all the way around. So it's actually kind of cool. And then there's some really cool stuff over here. And then there's a helicopter that kind of moves, maybe. Can't really tell, but there's that. And then over here is the GBC builds as well. So there's more like GBC on this area. So this is really nice and really cool, actually. I can't wait to see some really cool stuff around this GBC builds. So this is really nice. So yeah. And then over here is the others area right here. So this is actually kind of nice. And then on this side is like the racing area for kids to play with race. So I think that we'll do is I'm not sure how that goes, but we'll see how that goes. And then and over here, I don't want you guys to forget this. There's even like this really cool like this like lava steam that looks really cool. It actually steams like up. So that looks really really cool as well. So there's even that. So that looks really cool. And then yeah, and then we'll see if there's anything else that we can find or what's going on in that situation, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, I need to go in the back because there's gonna be some more. I don't think I ever showed you guys more stuff back there. I don't think. So we'll see. Oh yeah, and then one more thing I want to ask you is that this over here is a really cool like rounded piece that's just so cool with so many good colors and good stuff over here. So I kind of like this sort of thing. So I do know is that I don't know if I actually got a trophy for that, but I'm really excited about this build because this is really cool. It has some like great stuff with all the colors. So this is actually kind of nice. So I actually like that. And then let's just keep walking back as soon as possible as we can. And then yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then yeah. And then Troy, actually we are live.
Why? I want to be Memorex. I'm not live. I'm just Memorex.
Come on, just
And your people probably are too young to really understand that.
Okay, just say something about yourself. What do you like about this brick cascade?
I'm an AFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to counseling for it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I have an addiction to Lego.
Really?
Well, yes. I'm in a small room with thousands of Legos and no place to put them all.
Right.
And I don't have enough.
Right.
So what's it got to do? So there we go.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Troy.
You're welcome.
And yeah, there's some really great stuff over here as well. And then there's even like pop culture over here. So actually my friend John Furman is actually on live, or actually we're working on his build. So this is the Lord of the Rings builds by John Furman. So he actually built the Lord of the Rings from 2 years ago. So he has some really great stuff over here. He's working on his actual build over here, and actually he is really really cool to see him in person at Brick Cascade 2025.
Great to see you, Tyler.
Great seeing you too, John. Are you working on some progress?
I am. I'm getting close.
Probably about an hour away.
Hour away.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, thanks for coming over and saying hey.
Yes, and we are live, so.
Live? Uh-oh. Better watch my language then.
Well, just try to do the best you can.
Okay,
So
I will.
I'll see you around.
See you, bro.
And yeah, and then this is all like pop culture and all that kind of stuff. So there's even that as well. So this is actually really cool. And yeah, and then over on, I think that's I don't know what you call this, but I can't memorize it. But there's a cool ship that kind of like looks like Star Wars, of course. And then there's like Ghostbusters over here. So this is really cool, like Ghostbusters with like the giant puff marshmallow man. I can't say it right, but it's okay. That makes sense. And then there's some really great architect over here. There's some really great stuff with really cool builds. So this is actually kind of nice. And yeah, we'll just keep going as we can until family and friends die eventually. And yeah. And we'll just I'm really excited about that. So this has really been a really great success of doing this, so this is actually kind of nice. Sorry, my hand is tired from holding that tripod for a long time, so I'm not sure how long I could take this, but well, I'll do the best I can. So, and then over here is the Bionicle build from right there as well, and there's a cosplay right there, so there's even that. And then yeah, and then there's some really great stuff over here as well. There's some more Bionicle builds. There's even like the grenade or the what you call this, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, this is the really cool like way to get to see this. It's actually kind of nice. And yeah, there's some more Bionicle builds. And right here is Joey, right? Oh no, not Joey. Okay, my bad. I want to make sure we're okay with that. Different guy. Okay. Yeah, and there's some really great stuff over here as well. So there's some more stuff. This is actually kind of nice. There's some really cool stuff over here as well. And there's also cosplay. So cosplay is another thing that I'm really excited to see as well. This is a really cool way to get. So there's that.
That's a pretty fancy gimbal thing.
Well, thank you.
Mine's not that fancy yet.
What are you talking about? My tripod or?
Is it a whole full tripod too?
Well, not a tripod. It's like a stick.
Yeah. Does it have batteries in it?
I don't know. Just curious. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, mine's only like that big.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry?
That's okay. It's okay. And yeah, and there's all this great stuff over here. So, there's that as well. And yeah, and then this is all of Brick Cascade 2025. And I really hope you guys have an amazing time watching this video. And I'll see you guys pretty soon.